Hi, this is Rachel and welcome to my channel. I'm here today to talk about my 2021 goals and my plan to put my debt snowball on pause in early 2021. So I bought a house in 2020. That was a huge financial purchase for me. I have been saving up for it for a long time, and dipping into that account very little. But I had quite a few months there where I was doing really intense saving just to have as much in my bank account as totally possible. And I am so glad I made that decision to stash away every penny I possibly could, because I needed it. Since moving in, my house has needed way more repairs than I could have ever imagined. Some were just things I wanted and things that I thought I could afford. And then others were emergency situations. So, for example, within the first month of moving in, I put in a garage door opener. Okay, that was something I didn't need to do, but I was expecting that to be my only expense for that month as far as home improvement went. And then came the faucet leaking. My outdoor faucets were both leaking, and it was looking like it was going to flood my basement if I let it go for too long. So called a plumber, and he came out and fixed that, which of course cost money. So there was $1,000 in my first month moving in. Okay, next month was okay. I had, a month off from really big emergencies, and I was able to save some money. So I decided to redo the electrical in my house and get my 2 walls in the basement fixed. The foundation had problems when I first moved in, so they had to take down the sheetrock. Okay? I had the money for both of these things. So I thought now is a great time to do it, and then I won't have any expenses for a while. Okay. Then Murphy hit again. My furnace went out. I spent $1,000 to repair my furnace, get it cleaned, etc. And that got me through another month, which is not nearly enough time. When your bank account has taken a $3,000 hit, a month is not nearly enough time. Then right around Thanksgiving, my furnace went out twice in 1 week. One time I called to repair it. The next time, I was lucky enough to be able to just shut it off, leave it off for a little bit, and turn it back on, and it started working again. In the meantime, I called my dad and I said it's time to get rid of this furnace because it's going to be nothing but a headache all winter long. Fast forward to today, end of December, I just got a new furnace, which I breathe a sigh of relief for, but it also pretty much drained my emergency fund, and I wasn't even able to pay for the whole entire furnace. My parents paid for the other half. So, in knowing that I had all those expenses, I was able to cash flow it all, but my bank account is seriously hurting at this point in time. So, my big goal to start out 2021 is I want to get $5,000 in my emergency fund. Okay? So I had about $1,500 left in my emergency fund, and I was looking through my bank account, and I did decide to move $1,000 from my vacation sinking fund into my emergency fund, because in the end, the emergency fund is going to be more important than whatever vacation I want to take. And then at the end of December here, I am able to add $400 from my extra income sources to that emergency fund. So I'm starting out the year with just a little over $3,000 in that emergency fund. My goal is to have it fully funded by the end of April. That's my stretch goal. But for sure, I will have that fully funded by the end of May. And then I really do want to build back up my vacation fund, because that is a fund that is important to me, and it does get used. When I go visit my 2 friends that live far away, that's when my vacation sinking fund gets used. So I do want to make sure I have money in my vacation sinking fund. I'm just not going to make it a priority at the beginning of the year, because I do still have a little over $1,000 in it. Okay, so we're going to get $5,000 to the emergency fund. That is goal number 1. That is priority number 1. Number 2 is saving for a down payment for a car. So, also when I got my mortgage in July, my car started having problems. Right, lovely, right? So I spent about $600 in July to fix my car. And I just told you I spent all that other stuff too. So I spent about $600 in July to fix my car. And my car is a 2007, so I knew it was probably getting close to the time I was going to need a new car, but that kind of set it into overdrive. Like, Rachel, you need to save for this car now. You can't just keep waiting to save for this car, because I really don't want a car loan. I really want to just pay for the car in cash, or get a very small loan that I could pay off within a few months. So, goal number 2 is going to be to save $200 a month for my new car. So that would be $2,400 over the course of this year. Goal number 3 is I want to get the money that my parents paid for the furnace. I want to get half of that paid back. So that's about $1,600 that I want to get paid back to my parents this year. And then my student loans, I'm going to set a stretch goal. I'm really quite afraid of this goal, but I know if I don't stretch myself, I won't do it. Like, I will hit that minimum early on in the year, and then I won't stretch myself to go any further. So my stretch goal for 2020 was to hit $20,000 on my student loan balance. I didn't quite make it. I'm sitting at $20,755 and some odd cents. Okay, so interest-free did get extended through the end of January. So my stretch goal for 2021 is I want to hit $18,000 on my student loans. And this is knowing that I will probably have to fight with interest this year. I don't expect that the interest-free will get extended, but it has been amazing for the time that we have got this interest-free period. So my goal for the first part of the year, through May when I get my emergency fund fully funded, is to just pay the minimum, and that is $206.26. In January, that will go pretty far because there's no interest. As the year goes on, that $206 does not go very far. It ends up only paying about $120 towards my student loans. My 2015 loan is my biggest loan. It started out at $7,500, and now we are down to $5,165. So my goal is to put all the extra money towards that one, in hopes that I can end the year with that one being right around $4,000. So, and it started over $7,000 this year, so I have paid off quite a bit of that loan by putting almost all of my payment towards that loan. Okay, and my last goal is to pay $3,500 off of my mortgage principal. Most of this will come in the form of my monthly payment. About $277 is going towards my principal balance with my monthly payment right now. During the year, all I have to pay to meet this goal is an extra $176. Totally doable, right? As long as Murphy stays away, $176 is totally doable. And why I set my mortgage goal so low this year is I really wanted to take the time to focus on other financial goals and not pressure myself to put so much towards my mortgage principal. If I end up putting more, that's really, really great. But I think in the end, my student loans are a bigger burden that I would like to be putting more extra towards my student loans than my mortgage. Because in the end, as long as I live in this house for about 3 to 5 years, when I sell the house, it will pay for whatever the remaining mortgage balance is. So I've got that asset of this house to back up my mortgage. For my student loans, I've got nothing. I mean, I got a degree, and I am super, super proud of that degree. But I can't sell that degree and pay off my student loans. So, I've done a lot of thinking on it because I've went back and forth of which one is more worth it in my mind, and I think the student loans are more worth it to pay off just because they don't have an asset backing them up. So, how am I going to achieve these goals? Like, these are way beyond my monthly budget. Like, I will be real honest that my income is not going to cover these goals. I am a special education teacher. I work on a salary. So I know exactly what I'm getting paid every month, which is really, really nice when it comes to budgeting. In 2020, I took on 4 side incomes. 4. I make about $1,000 extra a month on my side incomes. December was a little bit lower, and I mean, I can tell you why on that one, but so my first side income, and for sure my most profitable, is babysitting. So I babysit for one main family right now, and then I have a couple families that will call me on an occasional basis, but that is for sure my most profitable side income is babysitting, and it's also something I really, really enjoy. Okay, number 2 is my Etsy shop. In April of 2020, when I was going stir crazy being in quarantine, sewing was kind of my outlet, and I decided to start an Etsy shop. I can't say that it's been super profitable. I spent probably way, way too much money on fabric, but I am still using majority of that fabric up, and I have no plans to buy a whole lot more in 2021. So I see my expenses for my Etsy shop going down in 2021. Third, in October of 2020, I decided to join Paper Chef as a consultant. Again, when Murphy just kept striking, I felt like I could not get ahead in my finances. I needed something more as far as side income went, but I just didn't think I could take on any more hours. So I was looking at getting a part-time job, and with my teaching job being as time-consuming as it is, I just didn't feel like I could take on any more hours. The nice thing about Pampered Chef is you get out what you put into the business. So if I devote a lot of time to the business, I usually get more sales and I get more income. I get more parties booked. But if I don't have the time to put into the business, I just know that I'm not going to make as much income during that given month. And that's kind of December. I decided to take 2 weeks off of Pamper Chef in December. So my last party ended kind of towards the middle of December, and I've got 2 parties starting up here in January that I'm super excited about, but the time off was really, really nice. And then my last source of income is selling my coupon stockpile. This one is a very small source of income for me, but I've always really, really enjoyed couponing. I've always really enjoyed getting the deals, but I don't need everything I buy. I really have enough stuff that if I wanted to not buy anything for a year, I don't even think I'd run out of it. So I started selling my coupon stockpile on Facebook Marketplace earlier this year. It pays for my transactions, and then I make a very small profit, and by small, I mean small. It doesn't pay for much, but it's enough that I can keep couponing as a hobby, because otherwise I was looking at having to give this hobby up, and it is something I enjoy, and I've really, really thrown myself back into it, and I think that's kind of been a coping mechanism for me. But it is something I enjoy, and I did take some time off of it before coming back to it earlier this year, and I am really, really glad to be back. I think I've gotten a lot better at it. My out-of-pockets have got a lot lower. And I'm able to pass on the savings to other people who maybe don't keep on. And that's the part that I think brings me a lot of joy, is although I'm making a small profit off of it, they're still saving money, and they didn't have to keep on, because the reality is most people don't keep on. So 2021, I plan to keep my spending low, but I more so want to focus on these side incomes, because these side incomes are what have sustained me through the later half of 2020. They have helped me stay afloat when I sometimes just didn't know how I was going to make it through and still have money in my bank account. And I am so, so thankful that I had job security this year. In 2020, I know so many people didn't. So I am so happy that I did have job security. And I am really excited to see what 2021 brings. I'm really excited to meet these goals, exceed them if I possibly can. And like I said, I'm stretching myself, because I know that if I throw myself into Etsy and Pamper Chef, I can make money with those 2 businesses. I just got to put the time into them. So yeah, those are my 2021 financial goals. My plan to put my debt snowball on pause, and I will be sharing some more financial videos with you later this year. Thank you for watching. Bye.